folks? How are you doing? Welcome back to Football Digest. This is actually Extra Digest, where we do some extra thinking and extra digest of how teams are doing. We've got international break still, so we're going to be checking how teams like Man United are doing. You have checked on Arsenal. We talked with home the other day. We talked with Eric the other day also. So today is all about Manchester United because there's something to talk about Manchester United. And I'm joined by a Manchester United fan who goes by the name of Alusa. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am good. First of all, tell me, how long have you supported Man United?
I think I used to watch ball with my dad from an early age. So say maybe when I was 8, and I'm 26 now.
Wow, 18 years.
So that long. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Very.
That's a long time. What drew you to Manchester United?
Sorry? Wait. Scholes. Paul Scholes. Yes. Paul Scholes.
What in particular?
I think his style of play. I came to realize later that what I loved about him was how he reads the game.
Okay.
By then, I just liked seeing a white man. Because I was 8. But when I started learning the game, I figured I like how he reads the game, his positioning of the ball, where he makes his run, how he instructs his teammates to move and all that.
Yeah, because Paul Scholes was good. He's a legend, that's for sure.
Legend.
Yeah, indeed. All right. So let's check how you guys have been doing. What are your thoughts so far on how your season has been so far? Because right now, Mko, I think 14th of the table. Okay, you have a game in hand, but you're 14th of the table, 10 points in. I think this is your worst start to a Premier League, is it?
Yeah, probably. You know, Ole keeps breaking records. So, both good and bad. But my thoughts so far, Ole out.
No shit.
Yeah, Ole out. Killing my club.
Wow.
If he loves the club as much as he says, he should hand in his resignation before we play next. Out.
That's terrible. All right. So do you think it's purely because of Ole that you guys are where you are right now, or could it be a contribution of him and his players?
No, you know, with Manchester United, the problem boils down from the top. So I blame Ole because he's the one, because he's the one who can ask for what he wants and stick to what he wants. You can't ask for Sancho and get Daniel James and say you're okay.
Yes.
So basically, when it comes down to what he did manage to do, what he didn't do, I blame him. Then now I move my blame to the players.
Yeah.
Say we have world-class players like De Gea, we have Pogba, who are playing with average people. How is McTominay in the first 11? He can't even walk into the Newcastle side.
Are you sure?
Yeah, definitely. He can't bench Longstaff. Come on. So, I mean,
you're just being too cold.
You know, when we blame, most of the time people blame the managers, but at times the players are to share the blame because I tend... Mourinho is very open with what he thinks about his players, and he says, you guys are not in the training sessions. I see what these people do. I know who can do what, who can't do what.
Yeah.
So yeah, the players sometimes they're off. I think with United it's always off unless they hear they're playing a big team. We lost to Arsenal because small team. But
oh gosh, look at you.
Because I mean,
no. Look, I want to give you like all the chance you can to talk, but I'm supposed to be neutral here, but I'm really trying to hold back when you say that.
But the players are to blame. Yeah, the players are to blame. The manager is. I always tell my friends he's actually has some bit of idea. He's not worse than Lampard because he has some idea, but he's better than Lampard. He's better. At least we can compare Lampard and say one has a brain.
Yeah.
But again, the players, I blame the players because a good example will be against Istanbul. The first goal, the Baba goal. What were they doing? How do you leave Matic behind? So the players, their reasoning and everything, their positioning, they're just off. It's like they don't train.
Yeah. Because some of those things you don't really have to be coached. A coach will not tell you stand here when you're doing defensive duties. You cannot put you down to the smallest of aspect, which you're supposed to be knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
All
to,
right.
he can't scream. You're taking a corner. He can't scream from the touch and be like, yo, come back.
Mm.
Like, just you yourselves are people.
Yeah.
Sort it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
So
with
it's
you.
just the
I
players and
agree.
the manager.
I agree. Before I go on, is that a Mathare
Uh,
United hoodie?
yes.
I like it. Do you support Mathare United in Kenya? I'm an
Yeah,
Ingo.
yeah, yeah. I'm a fan. I love Madar. I grew up in Westerns, so our team it
Mm.
was AFC.
Yeah.
But then I figured there's some good football in Madare, so yeah.
Oh, all right. All right.
Fun.
You grew up in Western? Kakamega?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Ah. Where exactly?
Where football is. Some place called Vihiga, a village called Vihiga.
Ah.
Small
I know
village.
those places in and out. I could actually ask you, well, Amisi?
Uh-huh.
Is it Amisi?
Amisi. Yeah, there's Amisi, there's Shamahoho, there's so many small places in there, yeah.
Yeah. I've been around. I've stayed in Western for 3.5 years, so I know like it in and
Agreed.
out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, actually, that's the reason why for me, I was asking about Mathare United because, and then you said about Western, I'm like, because I'm fond of Kakamega Homeboys. Kind of fun.
Exactly. When they go to Wanga, anyway,
Yeah, they've been
small
doing good.
fires.
They've been doing
Yeah.
good. All right. So you said Ole for you should definitely get sacked. He
Yeah,
should be
Ole
sacked
should
so far
definitely leave
because
the
no one
club.
has
It's
won it. Who do you
yeah.
think is maybe the best guy should go for now once you sack Ole?
I'd obviously go for the easy pick, which is Pochettino, because
Mm,
I'm looking at say who's available. There's we can get Spalletti, we can get Allegri, but
mm,
I'd still stick with Poche because I've seen what he's done. Much as he's not won anything,
yeah, because
I know
people
his
will always use that
aggressiveness.
yardstick of he's not won anything.
I know it's doesn't make sense. But yeah, there's again the Shakhtar manager, the Shakhtar boss. Might
Mm,
be hard to drag him, but yeah. Yeah, so I'd easily go for Poche because
mm,
there's so much he can do, there's some improvements he can bring. There's better, we can't get someone who relegated Cardiff,
mm.
who did nothing with the mold, and we think he can bring United back to the top. What are we
Uh-huh.
thinking? So you can't say you're bringing in someone. It's like appointing Rio because he loves the club. People
Well,
should
he
stop
has
being
no.
emotional,
Yeah.
stop being
Wow.
sentimental, and get managers.
Well, he took you guys to Champions League spots last season. You finished third when, honestly, some point in time last season, you didn't even think you're going to finish third, did you?
The thing about last season and fourth and third was that no one really wanted. I mean, look at what we were doing with Leicester and Chelsea and
Yeah.
Spurs. No one
Yeah.
wanted to get there.
Mm,
Why I say last season was a fail is because we were in 3 semifinals.
mm-hmm.
Did absolutely nothing, won nothing. I was so sure, I was 99% sure we were coming home with the Europa League trophy.
Mm.
What did we do? How we,
Copy
how we
paste.
losing to Sevilla like that? So I
Yeah.
mean, that's how you can see a manager can't really do anything with the squad, with whatever he's given.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good season considering we are in the Champions League spots at the moment and we're doing fairly well in the league,
Mm.
but still a fail. We should have won something last season,
All right.
even the Carabao.
Quick one. Do you mind taking off the hoodie? I can't see your face clearly.
Oh
I need to
really?
like put a face to the name.
No, I have a bad hair day.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a bad hair day. You should have
Okay.
said because I actually have a United jersey in. So yeah, you should have communicated next time.
Yeah, I guess.
Remind me.
I guess. Yes.
Remind me, remind me, huh?
All right. Yeah. So I was also gonna ask you like, and I think you've tackled this, but I was gonna ask like, what do you think is exactly the problem at you guys? And you've said, of course, it starts from the top. Because I was gonna ask you guys, you can't say you don't invest, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Like you don't really put in money in terms of transfer because you go and like, of course, some acquisitions are questionable, but
Yeah,
you always kind of do spend the money. So it's not
exactly.
exactly about you not spending. Maybe it's more of the coach, like you said, or the recruitment per se. Even if you are spending big, maybe it's not necessarily on the players that you would necessarily go for, right? Or maybe you
Yeah,
not even spend such amounts of money on those particular players who you do buy.
yeah.
So I was going to ask, like, what's the problem there? Because you spend money, but still no trophies yet since 2017. But pesa bado inatumika tu. What's the
So
issue? Is it
maybe
the
the
coach? Is it,
football.
Of course, Ed Woodward, I know, is playing a big role in starting you up. But what is your opinion about that?
We need a director of football. There are talks of Van der Sar. I mean, we need someone who can bring in a football brain and not a business brain.
Yeah.
Because we are signing people who we're looking to bring back money to the club. We're not looking at people who are going to win us anything. For example, right now, we can't actually go and sign Ronaldo because, he'll sell jerseys.
Yeah.
But do we need Ronaldo? So
Not
we need
exactly.
a director of football, someone who can sit down and recruit with the manager and recruit people we need. We need a right winger. We need a defender. We needed a left back. At least we got tellers. But after some back and forth, so we're doing last minute business. We can't really say we don't have money as a club. So many clubs have been hit.
Yeah.
We can say Real Madrid didn't buy, but look at the squad Real Madrid have. So first we need a director of football, someone who can bring in the football mind in buying players, not just the whole finance. Because Woodward is a financial man.
Yeah. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
All right.
About football.
Speaking of acquisitions, an expensive one for that matter, there's this one big acquisition you guys made a couple of years back called Paul Pogba. Yeah, and Paul Pogba lately, I think during January, Juicy came out saying how he's having a torrid time at Man United. It's like one of the worst times you've ever had. What do you think is going on here? Do you think it's high time you cashed in on this dude, or is it time he just moved on, or maybe in a certain period where he's just having a rough kind of patch, which he can get over?
I was saying it on my Twitter, Juicy, when he came out saying that. I was like, I love this guy, but it's time for him to move on. He's 27. It's prime time.
Yes.
Win. He's not going to win anything at United. This man is getting benched by McTominay and Fred. What are we doing as a club? Let him go. He's not happy. And that's how you see Ole smiling at pressers. You think he's a nice guy. Fuck off. He's one of the worst managers I think I've ever seen at United. So he should leave, not because he's not a good player. I feel bad that he wants to leave that bad. But we should leave because he's not going to do anything with us.
Yeah.
We keep saying we're unlocking him. But we're unlocking someone who has to pass to Daniel James. Unlock him, yes. Get him to play with world-class players. This is Manchester United. This is not some small Spurs.
Yes.
Spurs making good moves in the market compared to United. So we should stop being used as a bargain. Someone says United came in, so give me a better deal. Yeah. So Pogba should leave because he's not gonna do anything at United so far. Even if we change managers, he's not happy. We need to change. If Pogba is to stay, we should remember when Rooney pulled if you don't sign, I'm out. I'm moving to see. And we had to sign. But you see, he doesn't have that pull. We call him a virus because of what he says. He needs to win something. He's 27. He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah. He needs to be bagging big trophies.
The thing is, again, we want to cash in, but we're not playing him. Real Madrid won't pay 70 million for someone who's being benched by McTominay. They come and sign McTominay so we need to give him game time, then sell him even in January. Let him go, be happy. We want to watch football. We don't care if he's Juventus, let him go. But if he says he's unhappy, he is unhappy. It's dragging on. He said this in was it 17, 18 or 18, 19, I think.
And
he said it's time for a new challenge. Yeah.
Wow.
18, 19, we wanted a new challenge. We stuck and told, new. Let him go. Let him go.
Sometimes I feel like you guys don't really want to let him go because, I mean, he cost you 90 million pounds, sorry.
Yeah.
And maybe you feel like, 90 no, you're getting this one back. So you might have to sell him at a loss, of course, because of also the time that we're living in right now. So maybe that's kind of why you hold on to it. And the more you hold on, the more he sounds out his discontent. And the more the results for Man United are mixed up, the more you start feeling like, I need to leave. And the fans are like, just go. And him and his manager, his agent, they're always talking trash sometimes. There was always, I think even sometimes this summer, we were thinking he's going to leave. You can hear someone, Raiola alikuwa ameongea mbaya.
Hey, Raiola though huongea, man. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't. I knew he wasn't gonna leave this summer because of the whole
Mm.
money factor. United want to cash in.
Mm.
We want about 70 to 80. People can give only 50 to 60. So, like you
Yeah.
said, we have a financial man, Ed. If we had a director of football, we'd sell Pogba for that 60M,
Yeah.
get a few who can in positions we need to strengthen,
Mm.
then have a good season, a decent season. We're not
Yeah.
gonna win shit this season, yes, but we could at least fight for the top four.
Mm.
Right now, Spurs have a better chance of finishing higher than United.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, we're just winging it. We're just there. We're
Wow.
still. I mean, we have to avoid relegation though.
I like the sound of that. It's like music to my ears, to be honest.
Too
All
early,
right.
too early.
So of course, still on the Pogba issue, and of course, this one will lead us to the midfield conundrum you guys are having. So, what do you think is your best combination in the middle of the park? Because Mara mnacheza Diamond, Mara si Diamond, Mara ni Scott McTominay versus, alongside Fred and Bruno. Mara ni Bruno, Pogba, and Fred. What should you do here? Also, Van de Beek, who's doing quite bits every few minutes he comes in, you see he's doing something extra. He goes to the international break, he's doing something extra there, but getting limited game time at Old Trafford. What do you think should be the combination for you guys in the midfield?
Basically, depends on the formation we're using. If you use a 4-2-3-1, we'd have two midfielders at the peak. People don't like Matic, but I love the man. He's good cover.
Mm.
I'd pick Matic and Pogba
Mm-hmm.
because you see Bruno will be ahead of them. But if you're
Yes.
using a 4-3-3, I'd still pick Matic and
Mm.
have Pogba and Bruno.
And Bruno. That
Yes.
even for me, I feel like that's the strongest combination you guys can have. I feel the few
Yeah.
times I've seen you guys implementing it, I think you played well. I feel like it's well balanced, it's experienced. So I don't get it. Every time you're shuffling and changing that, and do you sometimes feel like when you're playing this diamond kind of limits your width of gameplay? Because I feel like when you play the diamond, you kind of become a tad too narrow.
We're narrow because at times I look at I feel like Ole also looks at our wingers and goes like, damn, no one here has a brain. So just put them in the middle of the park and tell them to run,
Yeah.
just go. But when you come in attacking from the wings, look at Rashford, someone who I should not even be mentioning. Forgive me, matter. He should be out
Of your club.
Yeah, he's off. I mean, if we're playing from the wings, we can have a midfield of three. We have providers of, like I said, there's Bruno, there's Pogba. They can read the passes. Someone I like is Rashi. I mean, Rashi can move in, can be on the wing. He's okay.
Yeah.
So this Diamond midfield, we have a back four, we have a back five. Why do we have a back five? This is United.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so I tell you, the manager is just clueless. Look, he makes changes in the 80th minute. We are 1-0 behind. Who does that?
Ole.
Yeah, Ole.
Ole.
But I think the best formation for United would be a 4-3-3. Either way, we need someone out on the wings. Basically, because our 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 fullbacks are brainless going forward and even staying back at times.
Yeah.
We need someone to support them, and if we have people narrow, they're exposed. That's why you'll find that will go wide will hit us because we're doing nothing on the wings. We're just depending on central runs, whereby we don't have someone. We want central runs, but Pogba with his vision is on the bench. It's Maguire in the middle, nothing. So basically, the formation should switch. A manager should read the game early on, before the 10th minute, see how the opposition are putting out, and switch however you need to switch it.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you concede, then you start instructing people, move left, move right. No, read the game, switch it up. Whatever formation you're using, however you go. The team is, I mean, the team sheets are exchanged way early before we even see them. So yeah, they should be knowing what to go with, who's on, who's off.
Yeah, and how to counter your opponents in terms of how they're set up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Two things. One, if you had to play a 4-3-3, I can always guess who's going to be on the left wing because I can always see Rashford there. I can maybe see Martial in the middle of as your number 9, but I never for sure see someone on the right wing. I can never tell like who's best for Man United to play on the right wing. So tell me who you think should be playing on your right wing when like you have the strongest squad, and also your thoughts on Van de Beek.
The right winger should have Jadon Sancho, but it's United. So
Yeah.
I think that's where Ole goes narrow, but or switches Bruno to the right at times. He rotates his front three. Rashi can move to the right, but Marshall on the right is sort of clueless
Yeah.
because he's either better on the left or just in the central park.
Yes.
Basically, we have no right wing, I can say. We try with Mata, but Mata can't track back.
Oh, Mata, yeah. Daniel James is
he was bullied off the last time. Daniel James is why are we talking about him? Is he a footballer? Who's that?
He's too one-dimensional.
I don't. Let's not talk about musicians or let's talk about footballers. We can't have a Swansea guy in a United starting 11 and expect him to do anything. So yeah, maybe DJ, but the cup games, Carabao, EFL, the EFL or FA, you can have Daniel James play those. But that's where Ole goes with a narrow because he has no right winger.
Yeah, he has
we'd have gambled with Dalot because Dalot can be pushed forward, but well, AC Milan are lucky to have him at the moment. So we really don't have a right wing actually. So that's why Mata played against, pushed him off the ball. The second goal for Istanbul, Mata was on the right. Yeah, I remember. So yeah, that's why Mata gambles on that side. But yeah, there's no person we can say
like a proper
that's why maybe Rashi can try.
Yeah, there's no like a proper right winger for you.
Yeah, there's no proper right winger at United. My thoughts on Donny is that he's brilliant, but I wouldn't start him ahead of Pogba, of course. I wouldn't start him ahead of Bruno, and his defensive skills are wanting. So of course he can't just hop into the 11. However good he hits when he's on. So he's a brilliant addition, but he's one of the things I was telling you. If we had a director of football, we wouldn't have bought Donny van de Beek. We have enough midfield. We'd have bought a right winger with that money. So he's top. He's an addition we need. Probably like why he's here still with Pogba is that Pogba is going to be sold. So we need someone who can maybe fill that position. And but he has to be patient this season.
Yeah,
maybe next season making starts. Yeah, but he's brilliant, absolutely good.
All right. Holistically though, and maybe this is a bit premature to ask because there's a January transfer window coming in. But what would you say are your realistic ambitions, or Man United fans? What would be their realistic ambitions for this year?
Europa League.
What? Playing there next season? I'm dropping there.
Playing there next season. Europa League finish. 5 or 6. Unless we make changes, because you're talking of the winter window. No one can sell the best players in January.
Yeah, quite rare. Unless you splash some crazy cash.
Yeah, exactly. We won't go give BVB won't let him go. We can't say we'll get a better right winger in January. So nothing is gonna happen. We'll keep flipping the coin. Are we winning today? Heads, yes. Are we losing? Yeah, we are. So we'll keep that when his job is on the line. We beat people like fuck. Everton, what was I thinking? So at the end of the day, the realistic position for United fan that would go for is a Europa League finish.
Yeah.
Unless teams sleep, we are not going to do. We're talking. By the way, one thing we have not talked about is our defense. It's another thing. Maguire and Lindelof are nothing. Bench both or bench one. So yeah, so much each position. If you talk about the two Manchester clubs and look at the teams position by position, each of our positions has a weak. Probably not the goalkeeping part because the hair is world class.
Yes.
But look at the right back, he can't attack. Look at Kyle Walker, he can attack. So City and United, each position there's a problem with our squad. There's a weak point at every spot.
At every level. All right, yeah. Alex Telles, you brought Alex Telles on board. We have not yet seen much of him. Are you expecting much from him?
So much. The little we saw against PSG, that should tell you what he can bring to the team. I saw him take a corner. I was like, is this another Phil Jones moment? Midfield just took a corner for us.
Yeah,
But he's
Phil Jones, my
he's
guy.
also
Oh, I love
brilliant.
Phil Jones.
He has a magical left foot. That is
Yeah.
a good boy. I
Yeah.
don't know. We played with the West Brom, not sure, but he will play because he just got cleared COVID
Mm.
and with Shaw injured. But then when I saw Shaw was injured, I was like, oh goodness, thank you. I
He's
needed him
injured?
out. Yeah. He's a hamstring.
Oh,
So
okay.
Shaw will be out for about 4 weeks or five
4 to 6. Yeah.
because of give him five. But um Tellers is brilliant. He's a brilliant addition because we needed someone.
Mm.
And another thing is that they can play together with Shaw because Shaw can fit in the back three. If we're playing a back three and using wing backs, can be
Mm.
Shaw and Bissaka. Tellers and Bissaka, then have Maguire and whoever he wants to put behind there.
Mm.
But Tellers is brilliant. His runnings, he knows whether to make an inverted run. He knows when to come back. So he's a brilliant addition to the squad.
Indeed. I cannot agree more. What are your expectations for this season for guys like Martial and Rashford? Because, last season they were brilliant. Are you expecting the same this season alongside Greenwood, who has, had a shaky start to this season? Of course, he's screwing himself up. It's not anybody's fault. But
Yeah.
what are your expectations for the three this season?
Well, I'd say Martial has started off. His season has not been a good start, but
Mm.
Rashi is peaking. Rashi is Rashford. I mean, is brilliant. So I'd say they might not hit the numbers if the two are to compete. I'd say Rashford will edge. So I think they'll do well. I think they will have 15 plus
Yeah.
each. Yeah, because we're in a few competitions and we lack numbers at the front. Cavani is already. I don't know if he's out, but maybe.
Mm.
So yeah, we're dependent on them and they have to score. No matter even if it's penalties, they'll get to 15.
All right.
Greenwood, like you said, is difficult with the foot. Greenwood does so much happening.
Mm.
Should have focused on his ball. But yeah, I don't know what's happening with him. There's someone said he lost a friend to suicide, but did that friend call Hos to his room? So I mean, the external factors and then they're his own factors. His friend
Yeah.
didn't go anyway. So yeah, Greenwood, I hope he picks up because he's brilliant. That wait, right wingers, we can have Greenwood,
Oh, yeah.
but he's not a right winger, he's a striker.
Yeah.
So see, we're trying to force people into positions they can't too
But,
much. But yeah,
he's a young guy, and, when you're young, you just want to play. So maybe he
exactly, you can fit,
relish.
but and then it's for him it's easy because he's which what foot does he use? No one knows.
No one
Can
knows.
score with any. So yeah,
Yeah.
can play in either flank.
Yeah, he's good like that. He's good like that. All right. So that's a load on Manchester United, and of course, this season is gonna be an interesting one, especially the beat yenye tunaenda juu hapa ni, I can keep saying, a marathon of games still March next year.
Yeah.
On the other side, what do you think of these buggers called Chelsea?
Chelsea won't do anything. Like you heard me say earlier, they have Lampard.
Oh, so if you're not like fast by or bamboozled by the many signings they did, the 200M plus
Brilliant
signings
signings.
that they did, and
Brilliant
how they have
signings.
gelling so far, you're not.
Brilliant signings. Brilliant signings. But again, it's Lampard.
A not so brilliant
It's
manager.
Lampard who is playing Kai Havertz on the right wing.
Uh-huh.
It's Lampard who's forcing Hakim to go to the left. What is he thinking? So defensively they're brilliant. There's Reece James. There's the one thing that I envy is Thiago Silva. That was a very good move because he brings leadership. You need a defender who can read the game and tell Zuma move, don't go, stay back. Kilo is average. So in the middle of the park, they're good. There's Kovacic. So they have a good squad, yes. But I
Yes.
think what will drop them is their concentration during the game and how Lampard is. Look at his body language when they concede or they go behind. He's resigned because he's clueless. Then he's rigid. Doesn't know what to do, who to move where.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're a good. They can't. I don't think they'll make a shot for the title, but I think they'll make a call for the top four.
For the top four. All right.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Spurs, right? You said they kind of seem right now like a team that would make it to the top four.
Maybe number 5. We'll fight with them for the Europa because again they have Mourinho.
Mm.
Brilliant manager, brilliant game man, but pathetic manager. He will
I
go
saw
against
Fabregas
every.
saying he's a good friend of Mourinho compared to Pep.
I mean, of the two, by the way, what I say is of the two, the worst man manager is Pep Guardiola.
Mm.
People who smile at the camera are the worst behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what Eto said about Pep. Look at what Yaya Toure said about Pep. There's a whole list of players who have issues with Pep.
Yeah.
So his man management is worse. But with Mourinho, what might kill Spurs is that with Mourinho, he goes to the press and says, for example, when he took off Dele Alli in the 45th minute, start of the second half, he was like, "You ask why I don't play them. I just show you why I don't play them."
Mm.
So such things demoralize a player, kill their morale. If Mourinho says one thing wrong about Son, his season is done.
Mm.
So like Rio Ferdinand said, these players want to be baby. They want to be told, "Oh, come here,
Company.
Baba. Pass
Yeah.
here. Don't do that." See,
Yeah.
lazima track back, and that's not Mourinho kind of play. Mourinho's players are Sissoko, someone who can get killed for Mourinho, Zlatan, not
Mm.
the rest. If again injuries, Ken is prone to injury, so such like things are going to kill them. But then again, Bell is prone to injury. But the new striker they signed, Vinicius,
Yeah.
brilliant. So yeah, they'll make a shout for the top 4 too.
All right. Of course, currently right now, kuna top 4 holders who are in the top 4 when you are Ugenini.
Yeah,
Alex of Everton and such, and Aston Villa. But there's one team though I'm kind of concerned about. Are you concerned about Leicester? Do you feel like they can maybe hold on and surprise us and maybe get into the top 4, if not the top 6?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm not surprised about Leicester because um, Leicester are too dependent on one man.
Mm-hmm.
Killer Jamie Vardy. They have brilliant. They have Madison. They have Yuri. They have okay. The rest are average. They're the likes of Demari Gray, Bang average, Harvey Barnes. But
I think
they
Harvey
won't
Barnes
make
is
a
good.
shout. Yeah. His average is Leicester class. They I don't think they'll make a shout for the top 4. They won't. Brendan is a good boss, I think, but they won't do much.
All right.
They'll still be killed.
Okay. What about this other big club, one of the biggest clubs in London, in England, the third most successful club in England, and all right, I think I can go on and on and on and on when I'm talking about Arsenal. What do you think about Arsenal this season? Your thoughts about us? I might have to close my ears for this one.
Arsenal. Too dependent on one man.
Obama blood clot.
Yep. And the thing is, Lacazette has cost you so many goals.
Yeah.
Against City, he misses chances. He misses chances Daniel James can score. I mean, how is Lacazette making the first 11? If Martinez is to come back, Laka should go up.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you should just get someone to play on the left, get Saka to play on the left, let Aubameyang play central.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel like it's so straightforward. It kind of seems so straightforward to us and to everybody. Nashanganga, kwani coaches waona nini?
By the way, I also want to because look at a game. Why is Aubameyang on the right, going into Laka? Why is there's nothing?
Yeah.
There's no communication. First of all, no one is telling anyone to make any run. So, first, I think Arteta is rigid. That's why you see no movement. I think he just tells players, if you're supposed to be on the left and I see you on the right, sir, that's it for you.
Yeah.
So people are afraid to move. They are afraid to think on their own. They don't have a mind of their own because they're being managed by someone on the touchline. Don't do this. And if you miss something, it's it.
Yeah.
So, and then the thing about managing from the touchline right now is that each player can hear you. There's no stadium noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Atita tells Aubameyang, go left, the other manager will tell his defenders, just follow him to the left. So it's so easy to mark it. But if these players have a brain of their own, they can read the game, they can do something. Aubameyang will know, okay, now this is my time, let me go to the center and help Lacazette.
Yeah.
Because Luka is costing you guys so bad.
I hope he's gonna make some changes after the break, because I mean, if he doesn't, hey, it's quite in trouble. Quite in trouble. A lot.
But Villa ran you down. My God. Oof.
That was. I was shocked. I was shocked.
Why could
I was not even angry.
Why didn't anyone see? Why didn't Arteta see? These people are punishing you on the right.
Mm-hmm.
No one's like 2 goals. Ole Watkins, Grealish and Buckley were running that game.
Like the first goal we were talking with Zuhum Juzi, and how Nani was doing that boxing thing, like nikana tisha ilikuwa ni Grealish ama alikuwa nani, anamtisha niko like just even slide in, ball iko hapo, haisongi, just maybe slide in, just do something, just don't stand there looking like a clown.
I feel like managers should actually just read the game. They're there. We are watching behind screens, but we are like, no, don't do that. So it's so easy. I mean, I feel like if you concede on the right, don't concede the next one on the right. At least let them try the left. Block it on the right now.
Or try something. The manager should definitely counter that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious. You can see how these guys are terrorizing you, and from which end these guys are terrorizing you. So change it.
Block. Exactly. But that they were making Gabriel and Holding look clueless, but they were a good pairing for that game. I think they just failed by. I think Tierney had a game to forget.
Absolutely.
Bellerin too.
Yeah.
Partey went off. I feel like also Arteta went off with him. Because I remember the first game against United, he kept instructing you guys to pass to Partey. And it kind of worked. So when he went off, I think his mid took off, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Finally, because I've never asked you this before, I'm going to ask you right now. Who do you think is going to make the top 4? Give me your order of the top 4.
I think City will win the league. Liverpool might. No, yes, I think City will push it.
Okay.
So I'm saying that because Liverpool have now Salah out. So they have Van Dijk out. They have Joe Gomez out. So yeah, it's bad for them. And the ones who are there, if you can get beat by Aston Villa 7 with all those in the field, now imagine when they're not there. So my shout would go for, I think City will win the league. So for 2, 3, 4, I don't know the order, but I'd say Chelsea, Spurs, and I don't think Arsenal will make a thing.
So, who's gonna be the 4th team?
Everton.
Everton? Do you think they're gonna hold on for 30 more games?
Everton, one man, Carlo Ancelotti.
Really?
Everton have a shout in the top 4. Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like this season, not someone was saying an underdog will win, but I don't think an underdog will win. I just think what we are used to calling the big 6 won't finish where we expect them to finish. Like you see, I've not mentioned United in the top, not Arsenal in the top. So these are the teams that will have to scamper for the.
They've not even mentioned Liverpool.
Exactly. So Liverpool might fall. They might finish 4th, but I think for the title, I'll go for City.
Okay.
Pep wants to win as he lives.
All right. Yeah. So I guess we've digested like all we can. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. And I hope I'll be seeing you some other time soon.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love it.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night and take care of yourself.
You too.
Cool.